Summer is coming, and with it, scores of tourists and sea changers, affluent urbanites moving to coastal areas, are flocking to coastal towns such as Victoria's Aireys Inlet. Such large numbers of visitors and new residents means large-scale development of these once quiet villages is increasingly common, which affects the character and natural beauty of each region. Landscape architect Associate Professor Ray Green is working with coastal communities in Australia and overseas to discover what aspects of their towns contribute to their character and what should be preserved for future generations.
What you have is people being attracted to coastal environments and to the sea. It's a strong magnet drawing people here. Tourists and people wanting to live on the coast, so migration to the coast with amenity migration. We're seeing that here along the Great Ocean Road very dramatically. This is probably one of the more beautiful coastlines that's so accessible from a major metropolitan area, i.e. Melbourne. And I got concerned several years ago about the impact that this so-called sea change phenomena was having. When you talk to the people in these towns, the number one thing that came out was the character of the place was being lost. So I got interested very much in what people meant by the character of a place.
Associate Professor Green developed methodologies to quantify the qualitative data provided by residents of towns on the Great Ocean Road in Victoria.
If you wanted to preserve those things that create the character and limit or discourage those things that undermine that character, you have to first identify what those are. I'd send out maps to everybody in the town and ask them to identify the features of the town that were most important to the character in their estimation, and those features that were undermining or detracting from that character.
His results identified attributes of town features which were associated with what communities saw as desirable character. He found consistent patterns across each town.
The most important features that were identified as contributing to the character of these towns were the natural features, the indigenous vegetation, particularly riparian environments, that's vegetation near water features themselves, obviously the ocean is a huge draw. The next tier was heritage buildings and heritage features, for instance, the lighthouse here.
Associate Professor Green's research has resulted in an appropriate method by which councils can plan future development while still maintaining a place's unique character. This research methodology has applications for bushfire recovery and climate change adaptation.
What I'm concerned with now is how we make that adaptation to confront climate change and how we design and build and maintain human settlements, particularly in these kinds of fragile areas, and still maintain and preserve those attributes that reinforce the environmental quality that we all love in these environments.